Good morning, guys. So back into the garage now after that kind of interesting weekend. You know, sometimes racing just works out for you that way. Bradenton is so cool about their guaranteed payouts. No matter the car count, if they are guaranteeing a payout, you get that payout. So we left with $3 grand, which was the payout, even though there was only 3 cars. They're really good about getting sponsors or whatever they do to guarantee those payouts. So next year, just know that race, you know, if you got a sport compact that fits into that class, it's ripe for the taking of that $3 grand. So I'll hope to see you guys out at the next one. But aside from that, we definitely got lucky. But aside from that, I'm working on this car. So we got like 17, 18 days or something before TX2k. Less than that before we have to leave. So I am going to pull this transmission out, bring it down to Jason at ATF. You guys know him. We filmed some really awesome videos together. I'll link those, you know, somewhere. I don't know how best to link them, but in the bio, in the description, something in the comments. Me and Jason, he's so full of knowledge. I love taking my transmissions down there. Wish he was a little closer so I could, you know, pick his brain a little more, but bring the transmission and converter down to Jason at ATF so those guys can go through it, put some new clutches in it, maybe a new band, whatever it needs, so that we can go to TX2k confident that we are ready to party. Because I don't want to show up all the way to Texas and not, you know, go a few rounds. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens. So a few things on the list, I guess. So transmission I want to take out. I look really red, but I don't think I'm that red. I think it's the UPR shirt. But transmission, I'm gonna pull out, flush the oil, put fresh oil in it, and then put some fresh rear diff fluid in there because it could use some fresh gear oil back there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Pulling the trans on this car is pretty easy. It's a lot easier than the Mustang. There's more space and it doesn't have a full exhaust. So all of that stuff makes it a lot easier. Even the trans mount is a little easier. It's a tubular style, so there's more space and stuff. But I brought it in here last night, drained it when I got home just to let it drain overnight. And I forgot that if you let them drain too long, they'll eventually start dripping down like that. And I made a little puddle. So just mopped and made a little puddle. First step, pull the catch tray off. Unfortunately, it's just, there's not enough ability to go under everything to catch it, as far as I know. Maybe a professional fab guy could do that, but most people kind of just do their engine. So it is what it is. Get a fresh bill of health on this thing. I'll be really excited to do that. And that's about it. So let's get this thing pulled out and start draining some more fluids. You guys can see I got my Yamaha Marine. I don't even know where I got that bucket, drain bucket. Got some animals out here. Well, you guys know this whole deal, you know, drive shaft out first, then converter bolts, then loosen up the trans cooler lines, then unbolt the trans, then unbolt the transmission mount, unbolt the shifter, and boom, she's out. That's probably everything. I'm sure I missed something, but that's generally what it is. You guys know. You guys don't need to watch me do this. It's boring. All right, well, it's out. I think I have about an hour into pulling this out. Not too bad. Did forget one thing. My transmission temperature sensor. That sucks. Forgot that one piece. But it's out. Just gotta take all my parts off of it that don't need to go down to ATF. Basically just the cooler and the mounts. But super simple to pull this transmission out. Gonna clean up everything under here, clean up all this, and we should be good to put this thing back in right once we get back from Jason at ATF. Super simple to pull this transmission out. Honestly, I'm getting pretty good at it, but this is the first time I've actually done it on the lift, which is nice. And I haven't put it in on the lift yet for this car, but this car is so easy to get out. That car, pain in the butt. So every time I have this transmission out, I really want to showcase some of the parts that you guys don't get to see very much. I don't know how well you can see me, but right here, you can see this is the ATF Speed adapter plate for their, you know, Toyota 2J to Chevy Trans. So this is like for a Turbo 400, you know, basically any automatic Chevy Trans, this is the adapter for. So it's this thick billet plate with the ring for the starter on it. So you just use an OEM Toyota starter, nothing crazy there. And then along with their kit comes this mid plate, and then the mid plate has ears that you kind of just go off of right to your frame. So on this, we just put these big L brackets on here, just like these thick steel L brackets, and then that's it. That's what it, like, this accounts for the thickness of this, and that's all you have to do. So you bolt this on there to the motor, and then you're really just, you know, at that point it's basically just an LS or a small block Chevy or a big block, whatever. It's just GM bolt pattern from there on. It's a really cool piece. I really like to be able to showcase it, and you guys don't get to see it very much, but beautiful piece, hidden but nice and billet. So driving the little street car today. It's amazing to think that out of this chip and the Camaro, this is the slow car. So pretty interesting, but it would probably do a little better on the street than those two. Well, chip would probably be a good street car for racing. Like if you were to do like a 50 roll-in chip, it would probably do pretty well. Yeah, so I got to do a little parts running, and I decided, why drive the truck around when I don't have to? Forgot I had my broken wheel back here. Yeah, so got some stuff, got some oil filter, got some diff fluid, super clean, hand towels, you know, the good stuff. So let's get this stuff unloaded. All right, well, trans is out. I'm not going to bring that to ATF until Wednesday. That's when they had some time that they could go through for me. So I figured I would take this time to clean underneath this car, because it is gross, it's dirty, it's covered in soot, it's well used, you know, it gets well used. So I'm gonna use the same trick that I did on Chip, and just some super clean mixed with water in a little spray bottle. I used a little more super clean this time, and I'm just gonna pump spray the whole underside. You could just see, like, right here, like that's just gross. Like the whole car is kind of like that. It just happens. It's just, I mean, at least with this car, you know, when you make 1,000+ horsepower, you know, they tend to sweat a little, and when you're going 170, those sweat drops can go underneath the car. It's just part of it, honestly. I don't know of any race car that would probably be spotless underneath it. I'm gonna clean this thing off and see how it looks. Get a little scrub brush or something, I don't know. All right, well, the ground is soaking wet now, but look at all the dirt that came off. Like, that is all dirt. Like over here, like all that is just literally dirt. There's big piles of it all up here. Like, this ground was pretty clean before. Like, it looks gross, but it was actually like clean of dirt wise. And under here, it's not perfect yet. I'm still gonna use some more spray and try to get it a little cleaner, but it is so much better. Everything's not just caked. So, bucket with some water in it. You can see that was just for rinsing around the scrub brushes, and then I just use these, just toilet brushes, buy them at like Walmart. I don't use them for the toilet, I only use them for under cars. And then spray bottle, water, and super clean, and you can clean off the underside of your car pretty easily. All right, now time for a little rear gear fluid flush. This 9-inch is really awesome. When I ordered this, I basically wanted like all of it in a lot of ways. It has like, it's from a Midwest Chassis, but it has like really convenient things like these hooks on here for strapping the car, and then it has this big cap up here. I'll show you guys. So like a big cap to fill it up top, and then the little drain up way on the bottom. Not like, you know, how some diffs are, but like all the way at the bottom to drain it, and then all the way at the top to fill it, and plenty of space here. So super convenient, really like that. Well, the rear end is full, and I just want to say filling diffs is the best, because when you fill anything, you know, transmission, oil, you're relying on a dipstick, and you know, dipstick isn't made by the same guy that makes your oil pan or makes your pan. They're all kind of different. You never know how deep they go in unless you, like, you know, have it off and see and check and measure. But when you're filling a rear end, there's this little hole right there. So you pull that out, and once it starts coming out of there, you know it's full. So, you know, rear ends are the best. I would not mind if a transmission had that. Obviously it'd be tough because the converter has to be filled and you have to check it running, but yada yada yada. But engine oil, that would be nice too, you know, so you know exactly how high it is. All right, well, I got the wife and kids out to visit me. Hi. Hi. You guys hanging out, playing fetch, and decided to cut open this oil filter as I always do. And this one looks really nice, like no metal shavings at all. Everywhere in the filter element is like super clean, you know, there's a couple here and there, but like it's really like 99% great. So either I'm out of material to put in there or this engine is healthy. So super pumped about that. This oil filter has been in there a while too, to have like nothing. It's had a lot of trans brake, a lot of hits, a lot of tests, a lot of ethanol, you know, because oil gets ethanol in it when you run ethanol. So has taken a beating, just letting the rest of it just kind of drain out as little as possible here. Not too much left in it. I figured while I'm on this maintenance kick, I would drain the fuel and check the fuel filter, because that one's been in there a little while. Figure might as well check that's like the main filter. There's one up in the engine bay, but this one would collect like 99% of everything, all the big stuff. And just starting to drain this thing a little bit. It really sucks to drain these big tanks, but it's not too bad. Anytime you do something like this when you're reaching up, the fuel just goes right down your arm, right into your armpit. If you guys have ever been in this situation, you know, fuel in your armpit, it's just a thing. And it just, it happens. And this is some spicy Ignite yellow, so definitely, you definitely feel it. You know it's there. All right, well, it looks pretty good. So thankfully this is just a stainless filter, but there's some debris for sure in there. So I'm gonna use a little bit of brake clean, try to clean this out. But yeah, it's pretty nice looking. There's definitely some weird stuff, but that's kind of normal, but that's what the filter's for. So pull all this out and clean this up, put it back in, fuel it back up, and we should be good to go. You'd call this yearly inspection. This is the second time I have ever had the valve covers off, just, you know, looking through everything, making sure everything's good, making sure there's no like loose pieces around, you know, look at the cam lobes, make sure everything looks good, normal stuff. But honestly, it all looks so freaking great still. Super clean, induction performance. I mean, I can never say enough good things about them. But also Toyota, because gosh dang, Toyota, this cylinder head is an OEM cylinder head. Can I throw that for you? I will throw it if you want me to. Or do you just want to hold on to it so Millie doesn't get it? Drop it. You don't want me to let Millie get it? You're sitting on my feet. Well, got the transmission loaded up, converters in the back seat. You can smell that it's burnt. So my guess is when I raced that blue Mustang a couple weeks ago and I sat on the trans brake too long, it may have damaged a clutch or two, maybe all of them, maybe. But probably got a little hot, hurt the trans, and it is what it is. So this is the first time that the trans has had an issue like this. We had one issue with the dump valve, and then I broke an input shaft. Realistically, this Power Glide has been super reliable. It has so many 7-second passes on it, and it has been really reliable for me, honestly. Like, it has a lot of 7-second passes on it, a lot of trans brake, a lot of low 8-second passes, a lot of really good 60 foots on it. Like, this thing doesn't owe me anything. This thing has been awesome. So bring it back to ATF tomorrow. A few things I did want to clear up. This is not the same builder that built the one in Chip, so those two scenarios are completely unrelated. And yes, I would like to do a Turbo 400. Everybody with a Power Glide most likely wants a Turbo 400, but guys, they're really pricey. Not there yet. Working towards it, but not there yet. This Power Glide has treated me well enough. Eventually we will have a 400, but those are kind of longer term plans. In the meantime, I'm just having fun, not spending crazy amounts of money on this car to keep it running, and it's been treating me really well. So huge thank you to ATF for taking me in last minute. Huge thank you to Induction Performance for all that they do, and all the guys that have helped me along with this car. So let's get this thing down to ATF. By the time you guys are watching this video, hopefully I will be, you know, finishing up at ATF, and yeah, that's it. If you guys need transmission and converter stuff, ATF Speed down in South Florida. Jason and those guys are awesome. So that'll do it though, guys. Thank you for watching. Keep it saucy. I'll see you next time.